the understanding of Islamophobia, or what we call the propaganda of Islamophobia. To understand what is Islamophobia, if you look at its definition, according to Merriam-Webster's dictionary, it says, the irrational fear or the discrimination of Islam or the people who follow Islam. So in other words, the dictionary meaning is saying that the irrational prejudice, discrimination, and fear of a religion, that is Islam, or of the followers, that is Muslims, is called Islamophobia. So something that creates the hatred, something that creates discrimination, something that creates irrational fear of Islam is titled as Islamophobia. Now let us look at where does Islamophobia generate from? Where is it coming from? What are its root causes? Because unless we know the root causes, we will not be able to tackle it in order to uproot it. One of the articles that was published in Times magazine almost 40 years ago from today, dated 16th of April 1979, the Times magazine reports that between the span of 1800 to 1950 Christian era, a span of 150 years, more than 60,000 books were written against Islam. And if you do your maths, you will see that it is more than a book a day, constantly, regularly, over a period of 150 years. That is the amount of propaganda Islam and Muslims are facing under the banner of Islamophobia. So Islamophobia is not something that started in 9/11 or after 9/11. Islamophobia is not something that we are facing suddenly in the last 10 to 20 years. Islamophobia has been orchestrated, has been in its limelight for centuries, even before we were here. So this gives a quick glimpse of what is the situation. Furthermore, this was a time of print media. And today, with the social media and with the online technology that we have, this number of 60,000 books over a period of 150 years has now surmounted, has increased exponentially to a limit where probably I think it is difficult to now calculate. Moving further, recently an article was published on 20th of June 2016 in the Guardian newspaper, which mentioned the funding of Islamophobia. So it is saying that Islamophobia is not just an irrational fear that you find on the streets, but it is something that is very calculated, very organized. It says that it is an industry. Islamophobia is an industry. It goes further and it says that it is a multi-million-dollar business. And it quotes the report of University of California, Berkeley report. It states that almost $206 million in United States of America are being used as funding to various groups and organizations to spread hatred, prejudice, and irrational fear of Islam and Muslims. And it mentioned the names of 74 groups who were full-time, who were continuously doing this in United States of America against the American Muslims. Now this just gives us, as you can call it, scratching the surface of what is being reported in America alone. Similar online organizations, social media propagandists would be doing lobbying across the globe in different parts of the world. So what you see, the growing Islamophobia or the rise of Islamophobia, it is not something because of one person or a group of people or an error of the Muslims. It is something which is very calculated. It is something which is being perpetrated by an organized gang of propagandists across the globe. If you pick up the media, this happens to be one of the main sources from where Islamophobia generates. As we saw the Times magazine report, since 1800 it is in work, and we just saw the Guardian article newspaper which reports how the Islamophobia is being fully funded in different parts of the world, further to the extent that one of the newspapers called the Independent newspaper in UK, dated 3rd of July 2017, it says that if an attack takes place it is likely to be reported 5 times more if it is perpetrated by a Muslim. This further shows how media is playing the poisonous game of creating prejudice and hatred against Islam and Muslims. This is one major factor from where Islamophobia generates, that is the media.